Stop rubbing inside. All right, guys, welcome in. Welcome in. My cat was pushing on my spacebar accidentally, but that's okay. So today we're going to be playing some Karma Crew. They just wiped about 4 days ago, so I'm pretty sure everyone has built bases, gone super crazy, and it's going to be a really difficult time for me to survive. But you know what? What is DayZ? What fun is DayZ if you're not struggling to survive? All right, so let's go ahead and pop this up. I'm gonna put in my live thing, and then we're going to have some fun. I already made sure I preloaded all the mods, so when we logged in, we can just immediately start playing and doing it. Now, we are on their Shanaris server, and yeah, we're going to go ahead and run around. Feel free to say hi in the chat or, do whatever. But remember, folks, that with the newest YouTube update, the more you guys engage with me and talk with me, the more YouTube will push this, because it has a leaderboard now of streams on YouTube, and the most engaged ones will be higher up on the leaderboard. So really appreciate everyone being here, and if you can, just chat with me constantly in any form of way you want, and I'd be happy to answer your questions. With our new rebrand, it would be a lot more really fun to be able to just talk a lot more about DayZ, because DayZ and Project Zomboid are going to be our two core games that we're going to cover. So yeah. All right. So that guy has a reflective vest. That has a real nice reflective vest. So one thing I would like to point out to people is, if you are having trouble doing a stealth kill, it's probably because you're getting too close. So an infected has probably about one infected behind them worth of space before one infected behind them of space that you can utilize to do the stealth kill. So, like, have you ever seen streamers doing the stealth kill and you're all like, oh man, I really want to do that, and every time you try to do it, you fail? It's because you're getting too close to them. So if that infected had like a small after trail, say, of behind it, it would be probably about here. And boom. So yeah, I think that's where a lot of people, I'm not going to say, they fail, but I'm going to point out that, like, I feel like people want to be like, oh, it's super realistic, so I have to get right up behind them. That's really not the case. Ooh. Yes, I will take trail shoes right away. Hey, Scott Dog! Whoop, whoop. Oh, yeah. Alright, so, I love beanies. They're, like, my token trade. I'm Dump Grub, by the way. Outfit for when I'm playing. And, in real life, I'm a very big fan of flannel. Alright, so I have a bone knife. It's badly damaged. I'll take it, but it's not worth, breaking my bone knife right away. So we spawned in Soventloyarsk on Shanaris, and we just, ooh. Okay, where's the break in the fence? I mean, it sounds like a sore thumb, but it is a backpack. You know what? Maybe we won't go for it right now. How was your stream earlier, Scott Dog? Nothing really good here. Alright, there are chances that other people have perished and are now running around trying to gather things the same as I am. Scott Dog, who was playing Hollow Knight Silksong earlier, I think, says, good man, that game is so big, love it so much, so much to explore and do. So many bosses to fight. Oh yeah, I think today they said they published a patch that nerfed, or rather slightly nerfed, one of the bosses or something. I don't know. remember, folks, if you control click something, you'll drop it immediately. And that's what I did just there when I realized I couldn't put my knife away. So I just control left clicked and it dropped it right away. Man, I am doing some really bad stealth fights right now. You could also drop items in your hands immediately by pressing holding G, but I think the control left click is just a little bit quicker. Oh, we got some real boots now. Okay. So the Trailblazers are nice, but the working boots, although louder, last a lot longer. That's actually something that I've kind of stumbled upon with my modding stuff, is that sometimes the more civilian items have more health. Now that was a glow stick and what looked like tracksuit shirt or pants. So I'm gonna guess that there is somebody else who's ran this way. Oh, and that gunshot just told me what I needed to know. So we gotta make sure we're not constantly sprinting. There are benefits for us to sprint on this server. They have a stamina increase system. So the more you're running around, the more you're moving, the better your stamina substat will be, which makes it easier for you to do other things. Now, there is a crashed ambulance here. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Oh, yeah. Just to make sure I'm finishing this off, the stamina stat also punishes you if you are sitting around your base all the time. Now, I don't know the exact like numbers or anything like that, but I do know that you will probably be able to run longer, like sprinting-wise, if you have a higher stamina. Ooh, some Tetra. I'm happy they put the ambulance crashes here. I don't need an NPC jacket right now. But I do want to go over here real quick and see if we can possibly get some fruit. Nope, I don't see any fruit. I do see a jerry can, I believe. No, I don't. Okay. We can look in here real quick. Most times you just can do a real quick peek. Oh, see, there's a derringer. And what looks like to be a shemagh. Oh yeah, I can't. I forgot you can't wear the shemagh with not, at least not. Is this the vanilla one? Yeah, I think so. Sometimes you're lucky and get food, but I'm lucky I found some 357 bullets. Ooh. High insulation. Well, I'm not freezing, so I don't need to worry about what I'm wearing insulation wise. If it rains too much, probably. Okay, so to give you guys an idea, so Veloyarsk is up there, right? And from here all the way down, up and around, and to about the place that after the big orange area, that way is where a player can spawn. I think if you actually like calculated the coastline, it's probably well like 15 kilometers on vanilla that you could spawn anywhere on it. So definitely a large reach area. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through this, and I always suggest this to people. Find a small stone. It doesn't have to be a hoarder's paradise, but finding a small stone gets you access to a knife whenever you need it. So yeah, see, I spawned with a bone knife, but it's badly damaged already. And if that bone knife gets ruined, guess what? I can't actually cut up any meat or anything else I want. Hey, Melbourne! Also, folks, if you're interested, Melbourne himself also does some YouTube content, and he is definitely, in my eyes, a very good PvP player, and you guys can see some epic shots. Alright. So, let's go ahead and keep going. I want to find a rock, okay? Maybe I should be a little bit cheesy with a pun and be all like, I want a rock! This is the, a old, pass-through cave. A lot of people don't actually remember this is here. But, I think some of my first early attempts at base building were trying to make that sealed off. But back then, everybody knew about it. And we're trying to build her, and I think it's kind of slowly staggered away from that. I'm really appreciating all of the likes, folks. Really, really am. Alright, so. Let us see here. So there's also a small, I would call it like a, I don't know, a farmstead or something, but instead of farmstead, it's like a fishing village. Or like a really small fishing outpost. Yeah, there you go. That would be the correct word. So I can go over there, and I can start looking over there. It's a little bit outside of Sylvain, and it's only tier 1, so there is a pretty high possibility that it's probably not great. Now, if you folks ever wanted to know what do red, yellow, and blue trails mean, it's this. This tells me that going that way is going to be yellow, and I believe there's another one here. So this path right here is yellow, but that path is going to be a different color. So then we just go here. Most times they have 2 of those markers. Ooh, I heard some shots back there. I heard some shots. All right, so let's keep going. Oh, I can see my stamina stat is going down because I'm not running. Yep. Okay, there you go. That's good to know. So, Karma Crew has this interesting system that they made for themselves, which is a activity or stamina bonus, whatever you want to call it. But the more you're moving around, the more you're doing stuff, the higher it goes. And it looks like just jogging isn't going to be the end-all, say-all. You're going to have to sprint around and stuff. Okay, let's go up on here. Let me see if I can get my bearings. Okay, yeah. Now we're starting to go into the valley. And, so yeah. That big city over there is the city past the industrial area. Actually, no, it's not. It's, oh, I can't remember. But yeah, so that's heading westish. You can see the debug line, right there. So that means that debug is on the north, northwest, and northeast borders of the map. It's kind of like hitting all 3 at the same time because Chernarus is a little bit tilted when it comes to the compass stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to a village, a hunting camp. I believe it's just down here, actually. And then we're going to go to the fishing outpost. Do you remember, folks? You can pick up mushrooms in the forests, look for dead stumps and other kind of logs. They do appear over time, so you may move so fast that you actually won't see them pop up. But it is something to keep in mind whenever you're trying to survive longer and just want to get a full belly as quick as you can. The other thing I always think about, and it's something that I always thought was a myth, but it was proven to me a while ago by somebody commenting on one of my friend's videos, that there is a true curve to your hunger consumption rate. So what I mean by that is that the more full your stomach is, the faster you burn calories and lose hydration. Which is really problematic if you're thinking about it, because that means that being more full means you lose food faster, but the calculation of how much food you lose is pretty, significant. But at the same time, it also makes it so you're a full longer because you have a lot more to burn. It's kind of a weird thing. It definitely isn't a null and void system. It's not like if you only keep yellow food, you won't burn the calories as you eat them as fast, and that's the best ideal place. It's more of a, your body is consuming more of these calories because more calories exist. However, the amount of calories max you can hold cannot be burned faster than if you were staying around the yellow area. I know I said that and in my mind it made sense, but I don't think it made sense. So let's try it again. Your body burns calories from food based on how full you are and how much hydration you have. Call it a curve. So the more full and more water you have, the more calories you will burn. That's that. The next thing is the amount of calories you are burning per stage does increase, and it does increase significantly. However, the amount of calories you can store at the max does allow you to burn more calories because you're at the max food. However, you will have more time at the max food than you would have if you were only keeping your bar at yellow. And that's because of how DayZ's icon system works. So, you guys see my yellow water, right? Well, the problem with that is that water is telling me I am below, I think it's like 2250 of water. The max water is, actually it might be even lower. I can look it up quick if you guys want to. But the yellow is literally saying that I'm not at the halfway point. I'm like 1/3 of the full hydration I have. Which, it's a little bit, misleading because you look at that and you're all like, oh, I have half of my meter of water filled. That's great. But in reality, you don't. It's like 1/3 of your water or hydration is filled. And then when it goes up to the half apple, like my hunger bar right there, that is literally like 1,000 more than that yellow one. Oh, man. Hello.
Hello, where are you from, man? What is your name?
I just headed from Sylvanliarsk and over here. How are you?
Wait. What did you say?
I just came from the big city to the south.
From the big city?
Yeah, south of here,
But
Sylvanliarsk.
it's not south. South is this way.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, bye. Good luck.
Sorry, I'm waiting to hear if he tries to run up on me. Waiting to hear if he tries to come at me. He was right. It's not directly south of where we were, but it's still southeast. Come on. He wasn't really... He was just picking at things. I wasn't really interested in arguing with him. Sometimes it's just easier to do that than it is to try to be right. Yeah, just a show. So... So that's north. Okay. And if I turn around and put the south inside of the marker, yeah, see, he was right. That's not directly south, but if I go like this, it's just pretty much southeast. So that's why I didn't want to really worry about arguing the semantics of what I said with him. All right, let's just go, go, go. So we're doing okay. We got ourselves a shirt. We got ourselves a messenger bag from the ambulance wreck. We got some food. We got iodine and 2 things of bandages. And, of course, a map, just because for some reason I'm really enjoying being able to carry a map and find a GPS and just immediately know where I'm at no matter what. So there is a hunting cabin thing here. I'm just trying to make sure I know where it is. Who knows, maybe we'll get lucky and find some player's stash inside of a barrel or inside of some storage crates. But, you know, beggars can't be choosers, right? Okay, let's see here. Up on the rock. Yeah, see, there's debug. We're doing okay. I would have gone and looted that fishing village that I was just at with him, but it was too much of a chance. I'm a very slow, methodical player, not very a run kind of person, which is fine. Don't always have to be super run everywhere, see everything kind of person. I've played this game for so long, I don't even worry about it. Although, it's fun to play on some modded servers sometimes, because they had some real cool twists and stuff. I'm hoping I find one of the twists, like partial events, that Karma Crew has put on. They have, like, these random events where they're, like, survivor camps or whatever, but it looks like a player had made a place there, which was pretty darn cool. Alright, I think I am a bit turned around on where to go, so I'm going to start heading west-ish. Alright. Let's go. Maybe we can make some friends along the way or something, I don't know. I'll just... Oh, there's the hunting area. Oh, sweet. Those are the cabins I was looking for, folks. I was actually just talking to one of my friends about, like, how to also know where you're going is north. And it is mostly universally true that the further northwest you head in Shanaris, the higher your elevation will be. And, well, sometimes that's disorienting because you may think that you're on a high peak, but just north of you there's a higher area, or maybe you're in a valley and you don't know which way to go. The idea is that if you look in all cardinal directions, for the most part, you should see a slight slant, even in valleys or whatever, and that will kind of more or less tell you what north is. I'm not saying it's 100%, but it does help. So, like, if you use the sun, maybe not on these cloudy days, but you can usually use the sun, you can use the topology. If it's nighttime, you can use the stars, etc., etc. There are a lot of ways to actually enjoy or navigate in this game, but a lot of people just don't do it. Whoa. Oh, hey, look! Got a military sweater. I will take that. And we'll take the chlorine tablets. Hoping I find a, we'll take the scope. Because hopefully we find a weapon here soon. Hopefully we find a weapon. Oh, we found a deagle. And it's in bad condition, but we got a bullet for it. Alright. That will definitely go inside of our inventory, because I want to be able to surprise a player with it if I need to. What's this? Oh, a leg holster. Okay. I'll wear that too. Oh, crossbows. Crossbows are some of my more favorite items that have been added in. Because they're very stealthy, but they do enough damage that they'll take a player out too. All right, there was no knife there, which is, you know, sad, but whatever. Hopefully we'll come across a hiking trail we can decide to just take and move out with. Looks like I'm getting low on my food. So let's open this can of tuna and stuff our faces. So what's your guys' favorite server to play on if you are an enjoyer of DayZ? Or just, how's your day overall? You know, who knows? Oh, there you go. I already have a tourist map. So, I've been looking to buy a pickup truck. I'm on PlayStation. Officials are the funnest. Oh, yeah, definitely. Official can be a lot of fun. I definitely have enjoyed that. Do you have a... like, what do you do in officials? Are you a slow, kind of methodical player? Or are you kind of more of, I want to get in combat as soon as possible? Or, like, where do you run first when you spawn in? Or go to first? Do you take the time to get full? Maybe make a fire? Oh, got a shotgun now. Oh, I don't think I have any bullets for it, but that's okay. Scott Duck says, I haven't played him forever. Love watching you. Should try it out again. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Don't worry, folks. Scott Duck's really bad at this game. Oh, wait. Did I say on an open mic? Oh. Silly me. Alright. So, we're seeing the beautiful landscape, trees, everything else. I'm mostly, Modest says, I'm mostly solo. I take care of my character and make stashes. When I play with my team, I stay at base a lot. Okay. Scott Dog goes, I used to love running to the airfield way back in the day and would die a lot too. Oh. I don't know about you guys, but these scarecrows, every now and then, like, just totally get me. There's a hiking trail, like I talked about. I'm hoping there might be some rocks on it. They may have turned rocks off, which is fine. Okay, we're going to go under that assumption that they've turned the rocks off, but still go down... Yeah, and now the, like, infected will sprint, which has been a thing for quite a while, mind you. I'm not saying, like, just the other day, but, like, when they added sprinting infected, where they just sprint randomly around, oh my gosh, every time I still see it, I'm just all like, wait, what? Modest says, I like the PvP part, but I don't play just for PvP. I like the survival role-playing aspect, too. Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm definitely more of a survival fan myself. But, you know, if I encounter PvP, I'll do it. I'm not the best PvPer in the world, but I do definitely enjoy PvPing. Alright, so we got kicked. Pretty much means that they're restarting the server, so... let's go ahead and just have some fun chatting. So, let's go ahead and do this. Scott Dog says, I would love to do a survival RP server. I don't mind PvP, I just stink at it. Well, that's fine. There's plenty of survival RP servers out there. I can actually send you a list of them, Scott Dog. No, that's actually a myth. Well, of course, modded servers may change that, but on official servers, on official... settings, loot doesn't respawn just because of a restart. It respawns because the restart happened like 3 seconds before it was supposed to spawn. Recalculate what loot to spawn in certain locations, because every piece of loot on the game has a lifetime and a count. So let's say there's supposed to be 5 Mosins on the map. If there are 5 Mosins still on the map, it won't spawn another Mosin. But if somebody had looted the Mosin, the recount timer is like, let's say, an hour away from respawning it, and then the restart happens 5 seconds before the Mosin's supposed to respawn. It saves that 5 seconds, and when a server restarts, 5 seconds later, a Mosin is filled. So it's kind of more of a resets respawn loot by a timer being near respawning the loot in the first place. And of course, everything has quicker lifetime or quicker restock times and higher max quantities that are allowed, etc., etc., etc. Yep. No worries, Scott. The other thing to keep in mind is that loot cycling is a cancer on any server. It does not matter if it's a highly modded server with very little survival, all the way to the hardcore modded survival and the official being in between. If you pick up loot, move it just enough to be able to drop it and restart that location. What you're doing to the game is you're telling the game to keep cycling through the loot pool for that specific location on that specific spot, so you can eventually get the good spawns. And yeah, there's a lot of crappy, dresses or shirts or bad shoes or whatever that spawn. But when you farm it by loot cycling for those specific items, you create a void where they would have spawned elsewhere. So essentially, you're hijacking the random loot table for that location and taking it away from the rest of the player base. And if people are loot cycling in other locations, this is where it starts to become really problematic. And you have, let's say, 5 people loot cycling one spawn location, one item spawn area. They're going to hijack the entire economy, which is just really sad in my eyes, because it's all like, then why are you playing DayZ on official if you want to just loot cycle until you get what you want? To me, it's more about the journey and finding things. Sorry, I saw a message. But for me, it's more about the journey of me gathering my gear, gathering my items. And I think that also plays into why I enjoy, even though I don't get into PvP all the time, why I enjoy the survival and the other elements of the game is because I'm aiming for Pacific gear or whatever else, and I have to go around the entire game world to find it. Like, I don't just spawn in and choose a loadout and boom, I'm not doing this. It's just a kind of situation. But yeah, I believe Gear Fear is a great part of the game. And when you just start loot cycling or doing other things to improve the game for yourself, you're no longer playing into one of the best elements of the game, and that is Gear Fear. The fear of losing what you have and trying to be good about it. Melbourne says a lot of people just use alts to cycle areas, which is just another reason to not allow alts. I can see that. Monlister says KK doesn't allow alts on their console servers. Nice. Okay, so it kind of put me right back here. I wonder if it was a unexpected shutdown, because usually KK, whatever. You know what? I'm just gonna call it Karma Crew. I always mess up their name, and it's not good. So I'm just saying Karma Crew. Maybe the Karma Crew servers went down or something. Who knows? did get some nice food there. Ooh, we got a mag. Oh, we got a Deagle mag. Oh, yes. Look at that, guys. Let me slam that in there. Yeah. I'm just happy I found a Deagle, and I'm happy I found a mag. Now I actually might stand a chance if somebody tries to shoot me. Maybe. Probably not. Okay, I'll probably die. Alright, so we're at a vital junction. So we can keep going down this way, and that will take us to the southeast area, and then it will follow a road that takes us, southwest west area, take us to a road that goes west. But it's a major road, and there is a high possibility people will be constantly running on it. The other option is to go down this road. Now, this road will take us to Debug, but once we get to Debug, we can just run across Debug and eventually get to another location that might be nicer. So we're going to take the more annoying and longer route because I do kind of want to go to... There's a town on the most northern part of the map near a lumber mill that will be there. My only other concern right now is, going this way, is there's probably going to be wolves and some bears along the way. Now, bears most times don't automatically attack you unless they change the behavior, but wolves are a issue. I do have a crossbow. I do have 10 rounds in my gun, along with 9 extra spare rounds. So, if we do get encountered by some wolves, I think we can take them out. If we encounter a bear, I'm not going to lie, I'm going to run. Probably to the nearest building and try to save myself. If it chases me, by the way. Yeah, bears and wolves. Come with me, and you'll see many trees beyond your imagination. Like the path that you once had in your imagination. Alright, that's enough of me singing. I should have ended the little short tune that I was doing, being all like, and if you want to buy this CD with those short songs in full length, buy it right now. They're going fast. That was part of my 90s staying up late childhood, was literally, like, you know, seeing those commercials where they would, like, sing small portions of the songs. They'd be all like, on Shania Twain's newest cassette, you know. Little teases of what you could listen to. You know, I've never really thought of it, but I know I've never really thought of it this way, but I'm pretty sure there are people that go, why do we put why has society put such an emphasis on music? Now, of course, there is the let me read the things before I keep going. Modest says there's always those always get stuck in your head. And then Melbourne goes, a memory that's baked into my memory is switch the Lord of the Rings tapes to watch the rest of the movie. Or I'm using fingers to rewind the movie. yeah. I remember how you had to, like, almost, like, be perfect on your, like, stop and play. I remember when they added to VHSs the rewind feature. Like, amazingly enough, folks, there was never... There was a lot of VHSs that you had to manually rewind. Yeah, I don't remember Lord of the Rings being on VHS. I do remember on PlayStation having to switch the discs to play a game. Rich people had the rewind feature. You're 100% right. Oh man, I remember like going up to the counter at like Blockbuster and or the Golden. I forget the name it was, but it was a DVD VHS rental place. And the first questions out of their mouth was, "Have you rewinded this?" And it almost became a staple that when you went to a when you rented a VHS, you would always see if it was rewound, or you would always rewind before you returned because it was just a decent thing to do. Modest knows I grew up in the 80s, but I've never seen manual rewind. Yeah, so Modest, you would take I believe a like a pencil or whatever. If you I think if you you can use a pencil, but you could also use some other stuff you'd want to do, and you would just manually rewind it. Most people just use their finger, but that kind of got annoying. A fun fact about VHSs. Did you know VHSs are considered one of the best forms of long-term storage in the future? Ah! Cassettes. Yep, you're right there. My bad. I remember a family video when they would inspect the discs. Yeah. Oh man, there's so many like media stages I've gone through. Ah man. So damn good. So damn good. But yeah, VHSs are one of the best forms of long-term storage if stored like away from the things that can damage them. Which is kind of crazy if you think about it, because like I only learned about it because there was a guy talking about how they're having to move all of their data and back it up in different areas, and they were all like, yeah. So a lot of people use the hard disks because they last quite a while. Probably I forget the number, but quite a while. And then the guy also was kind of saying, we did think about going with the VHS method, which is you record everything on a VHS. He's like, however, that doesn't necessarily work with everything, but it can work with most things. But yeah, it was just kind of interesting. Modern first goes, my first gaming experience was through MS-DOS, hard disk, just to play Space Invaders. Oh, nice. My grandma, I'm not sure if it's the same, but my grandma had a really old computer. It's actually one of the first computers I ever got to play on. But I forget the name of the game, but you would put in these discs, and it was a play by adventure through text. So, like, it would be like, I would spawn on a beach. Funny, I'm playing a game that you spawn on a beach, but still. I would spawn on the beach, and I would tell my character, do things. You know, walk faster, walk fastest, which was kind of funny. Swim. You would have to type everything in, but the character would know it. And sadly, that's how I started to learn how to spell. Because, you know, I'd be all like, the Oregon Trail. Well, I think when I played the Oregon Trail, it was more of a click button kind of situation. But that may have been a more modern version of it back then. I know I always died of dysentery. Ah, yep, there you go. Yeah, we'd be all like, I mean, you know, it's kind of an interesting aspect of it, right? You know, like, that's quite a ways away. Did I accidentally somehow turn myself around and go into one of the towns? I did. Huh, that's cool. Big old red barn. Yeah, I think I know where I'm at. If I go where I'm thinking I can go, I bet there's gonna be a water fountain for me. Although I might be a little bit further up than I thought. Oh, that's fair. Oh, The Land Before Time. Oh, that was so good. I loved it. Oh, never mind. He was making a joke. He wasn't reminiscing about the cool video series that we got back in the day. The buddy just saw me. Yep. Railroad crossing here. Where the fuck did I go? Oh yeah, I'm still really close to the. Yeah, I know where I'm at. I know where I'm at. I'm hoping DayZ 2 is out before my son is old enough so I can be all like, you had to be there, son. I was thinking about making a video called DayZ 2, and kind of more or less, kind of like, I don't know, being silly and being all like, yeah, DayZ 2, and then it shows like the DayZ Reforger mod that people have been making, and then just like really start ripping it apart because there's so much that is not good with it. But I just love how like there's like, you know, every so often after like I think 3 or 4 months, everybody's all like DayZ 2, and it's all like you guys are just playing Armory Forger and talking about all the possibilities while praising a mod that, although yes, it does bring some of the DayZ elements into the game. Last time I played it, if I took care of an infected, it would just go flying into the future, flying upward. DayZ 2 as a title is similar to 87,000 hours played. Holy crap. All right, but folks, can anybody tell me how many hours are in a year? Because I'm curious if like it would be even possible after so much time. Maybe I don't know where I'm at. Where's the moon? That's the sun. Whatever. Let's go back up to debug and keep going. 8,760 hours. So, from Melbourne, for you to tell your son that you will have to wait 10 more years to be able to... Oh my god. And you would have to be playing 24/7. Of course, you could just leave it running, but still, like, oh my god. Oh, that'd be terribly funny. Alright, I need to stop goofing around and go find a creek or something to drink out of. I'm playing a little bit too close to, you know, the issue here. thought I knew where that was, but maybe I don't. I do have a map. I mean, I do have a compass. I don't know why I'm running away to... Just want to be honest. These compasses kind of suck. Like, I don't mind using them, but, like, I think the reason why I don't like them is because I can't really see them very well when they're in my hand. Oh, you think there was a well back there? Yeah, I think you're right. I just didn't stumble upon it. And see, I don't remember the long barn being where I think I am. But maybe I'm just silly. My guy's making those mouth noises again. No, there's not. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But yeah, in real life, I've been looking for a truck. And you know, like I'm not looking for like a big truck. I don't want like even like I don't want a large truck. I don't want a regular large truck. I want more like a small pickup or whatever, right? Like I don't haul a lot of big things. I don't, transport gravel or a lot of this big stuff that I would want to. I'm never going to be buying a freaking RV, that's for sure. Because if I buy an RV, then that's just to travel around the United States. It's not necessarily to go camping. I don't believe RVing is camping. I believe camping is camping and RV is RVing. It's okay. You can bring your entire house with you to a camp spot. That's fine. But you're not camping. You're RVing, and that's okay. Just know the difference. But, sorry. It's a subject I get annoyed at because my father-in-law and them always were all like, oh, I went camping, and then like they try to make it sound like everyone goes camping with RVs, and I'm just all like, no, only rich people do. What was I going? Oh yeah, I just want a small pickup truck. Like the smaller Ford Rangers, the smaller Tacomas, all that kind of stuff. And nowadays, they're expensive. Like even if it's like let's say a Ford Ranger, and it's like from 2011, they still want like 12 grand for it, and it has it has 135,000 miles on it. And I'm just all like, oh my god. Moodless, I'd like to import a ADA and kit out for off-roading with trailer. Yeah, the economy is crazy. Like, I just can't figure out why anybody would want to charge that much. But then there's also the problem with a lot of these places that are charging it are third-party, people, personal sales, right? So, like, mind you, I'm not saying everyone's bad. However, I'm also not saying everyone is honest about what is going on with their vehicles. Now, mind you, I know how to work on my vehicles. I know how to spot problems. I know how to take care of them. But you can't see every problem. You can't see everything. And it's kind of a gamble. It's kind of like if I do drop, let's say 10 grand on this vehicle, will it still work a year or two from now? I think I know where a well is. It's down here. But I'm also going to be taking a risk. Okay, well, we got to risk it for the biscuit, right? Yeah, for a while now I've been seeing shorts because, people listen to you on your phone or whatever. And some of them have been, like, talking to Facebook Marketplace people about like the cost of a truck. They're all like, "Oh, we have some of these issues. Would you be willing to go down to this?" And they'd be all like, "I know what I got." It's all like, "Okay, you got a piece of crap truck that nobody else will buy." Like, one of these listings I saw on Craigslist was like 2 years old. And no, it was on Facebook Marketplace. But some people had commented on it that this person is tricking you, that this is, he actually wants this much money for it. So like you go in expecting to pay like $5,000, and then when you get there, he tells you, "Oh, it's listed improperly. It should be 8." And you're just all like, "What?" Let's see. Moolist says, boomers in the real estate market shorts are hilarious. Oh, yeah. I get a good kick out of it. Like my father-in-law, he's asked us why we don't own a home yet, and I'm all like, they're way expensive. Like, he's all like, "Well, you guys already paid this much in rent. You guys could easily afford the mortgage." And I'm all like, it has nothing to do with the affording the mortgage. It has to do with the down payment, and it has to do with being able to save up for that down payment. He's like, "Well, if you guys cut some expenses," I'm like, no, you're not understanding this. We already live tight, right? We're not going out to eat all the time. We're not doing all this crazy stuff. And he just couldn't understand it. And I found a video the other day. And the video, I think, just stop eating. I think the video really kind of summed up for, I think, boomers and for millennials. I'm like, I was born in '89. Some people think I'm a little Gen X or a millennial, but I'm like the early millennial, right? But this video was kind of cool. So they're all like, okay. She's like, "We've all known the joke, the trope of, oh, just save up, stop buying all those avocado toast and all that kind of stuff." And he's all like, but what you gotta understand is your parents aren't looking at the economy how it is, because they already have their house, they already have their cars, they already have like a large amount of money built up over time from when they were around. And he's all like, and the reason why they keep telling you not to buy electronics, not to buy this or that, is because in their day, the stuff that we can afford to buy but not afford to buy a house was reverse. They could afford to buy a house, they could afford to, eat and all that kind of stuff. But when it came to buying a car, buying a TV, all of these things that was considered luxury items, was something that they had trouble affording because it was so expensive. And he's all like, but nowadays, millennials see that as it's everyday life to be able to afford a large screen TV than it is to actually think you could save up for a mortgage or for a down payment on a mortgage. And I think that was a good description, because it just is kind of like both sides aren't seeing it exactly how it is, but at the same time, they have more common ground than they think. And I'm just not doing good today, am I? I swear I know where the water is. I think it's in there, isn't it? I know there's a water in this big town. Just can't remember where. Thought it was in here. Thought it was in here. You guys can tell I don't talk a lot because you can hear my voice getting scratchier and scratchier. I'm definitely gonna have a be careful how much I talk. Don't worry. And when I start streaming later and later, It's behind the small apartments. Okay, if I remember right, the small apartments are just up this hill. Thank you for reminding me of that. I'm also going to pull out my Deagle. Really? All right. Be careful. I don't want to start getting hungry too. Do not want to start getting hungry. Sorry, I just got quiet. My apologies. Wow. Trying to get him in the bushes. Okay. Come on, I'm not this stupid. I swear I played this game for a while. You know what? Have a goddamn tourist map. Hospital's right there. I know it's probably hard to see, but could have just ran to. Or I thought it was. Hey, 330T. Hey, was driving when you were talking about buying a house. Oh, yeah. Bunch of nonsense from me. Just trying to find the water pump right now. And I'm getting annoyed because I know where it is. I just can't. I know there's one here. I just don't remember where it is. There it is. Okay. Took me a second, folks. I'm sorry about that. There's a player. That big shot. I'm thinking it was a bait shot. I know, folks. Well, whoever they were, they're gone. Thank you for the likes. I feel the youth today. Here we go. 330 TT says, I feel the youth of today, 20 earlies and early 20s and 30s, they want an Instagram ready house. My first house was a POS and put work into it, sold it, got a slightly better house, fixed it, and so on. I mean, you're not necessarily wrong. Hey, thank you for becoming a supporter, Moose. I really appreciate it. No, you're not wrong, 330 TT. However, when the fixer-upper house still is outside of the ideal range of saving up for it, it sucks. Like, I'm not saying 100%, oh, what was all of us? There are plenty of millennials that I know who could bought a house. My friends, Sarah Michael did it. My brother did it. So many of the people I know have a house. But there's also so many of my people I know who don't have a house, but pay as much as a house would be in a mortgage, in their rent. So that's where some of the kind of like a little bit of the woe is us kind of mentality comes from, because we can afford it. We can afford the mortgage payments, but because we have to have such a large down payment, it's kind of crazy. Now, there are programs out there that help brand new house buyers and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not, again, I'm not trying to say woe is me, because I do know that some of it is in our control. But I guess it's more of the disparity gap between what could have been versus what it is. And I guess it's kind of like a, you know, if you want to live in a fantasy land, you could easily claim that everyone would be able to afford a house, you know. Mula says, my property value has more than doubled when we bought it, but that's useless because the whole market is washed. Yeah. Like, I think... I think those are bait shots. I would happily pay to live in a home that I could fix up. Because I know how to fix stuff. I know how to do plumbing, electrical, all that kind of stuff. Of course, then there's the building permits you have to get if it's a bigger thing. Like, you have to get building permits nowadays to rebuild a bathroom. So there's more money there. And then, you know, I don't know. Again, it sounds like a lot of woe is me, and I can really see that, like, hear that in my voice. But yeah. I do think that people who make jokes like, oh, I'm sorry, I should have started saving up when I was in the womb, I think that's a bit extreme. I really do. But I think people like me going, to afford a home, I would have to pay less in rent to be able to save to afford to buy a home. Is more or less where I'm at. But again, I'm talking about buying a little small pickup truck. Do I really need a small pickup truck for the price that I'm probably going to have to pay for it? No, that could easily be used to pay for a home. So there are decisions that offset that, oh, well, we can't afford a home, how bad the market is, but yeah, here I am wanting to buy a truck when $10,000 could be 1/10 of a down payment. Murla says, inflation keeps rising while incomes have stayed the same. The economy is pretty bad. Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. And that's why today, folks, for just 1 penny, you can buy a stock in my channel's stock. I'm just kidding. Maybe you'll like, the guy from The Wolf of Wall Street. Look, fat pal, I wanted to talk to you about an offer that just came across my desk today. And I mean today. It's hot. It's good. And the earning potential for this stock is unlimited. But let me tell you about the company a little bit, okay? This company sells DayZ. It's amazing. It's great. And their value of the product they're pushing is just rising even higher with inflation. Now, you know what inflation is, okay? So just a penny, maybe 5 pennies, whatever. You'll be able to see your worth double in these stocks within the next year. And I promise that right here. Okay, cool. But yeah, have you guys ever seen that, like, Wolf of Wall Street, where he, like, sells this guy a huge amount of, like, penny stocks? I used DayZ just because it was the first thing that popped into my head. Yeah. Overall, again, I hear the hypocrisy in my voice. I hear all that kind of stuff. But yeah. Um, there's a lot of things in life that I could cut back more on. Like, we don't have to go see my friends Sarah and Michael because they moved to Minnesota every single year. That's an expensive thing. We pay for the flights. We tried sleeping in one of their spare bedrooms, but I'll be honest, I love them to death and I love their kids, but being around them 24/7, I always felt like I was in the way. And coming near the end of the 2 weeks we spent there, I started to feel like we were just not wanted anymore. And I'm not saying they told us that, but you know how as adults you kind of can get that kind of feeling though. So next time we go, we're gonna rent a hotel. We're gonna scale it back to a week. So we're gonna fly there. We're gonna rent a hotel and we're gonna rent a car because they have real life jobs, and we do too. But we take vacation off to be able to hang out with them, and they both recently started their jobs, so they don't have a lot of vacation time, and we kind of agree with them. Their vacation time should be spent doing stuff with their kids, not with us and their kids. But yeah, so that's an expensive trip that if I wanted to, I could cut back on. It's easily a $1,500 trip. But I won't. I want to see my family, even though technically they're not my family. They were basically family. I helped raise my a niece for her first year of her life, and then we've been part of it every step of the way, babysitting and watching them and stuff. And then they moved back to Minnesota, which really sucked because it just sucks when you have some people you're so close with that you consider family move away because they want to go be with their family because they are realizing their family is getting older quicker. But either way, it doesn't matter. I could do that. I also could have told my wife that she is, because she's staying in Texas for a summit for her work, and I could have told my wife, no, you can't stay any extra days past the summit. You need to come home right away, which would have given her, she would have spent less money because she has to pay for the hotel room past the summit days. So that's, some more money. And then she wants to go around and spend money, so like there's a lot of things we can do to save money. It's just, I'm just not sure the amount of unhappiness and like penny pinching that it would inspire would be worth the situation. Sorry, I thought I heard something. Anyway, I think that's enough talking about that. I think let's move on to another subject. Because I'm starting to feel really like down about it. Again, woe is me, right? Should try eco rating a base? What? How does that work? Tell me, Melbourne. Share your secrets. Is it like fatality, flawless victory? Jump in? Okay. I've done plenty of jumping in my time. My knees aren't the same they used to be. Peekaboo. Peekaboo. It would be hilarious if I went around these corners and I'm like, peekaboo, and they just shot me in the face. I think weird things are hilarious. Just realizing now, me saying that, it's just like, wait, you want to get hit? Heard a pop up here. That makes you cut your fists, by the way. If I remember right, the multiplier math for that is pretty large. Yeah, spears would be probably more ideal, or the crowbar. So this is kind of a interesting thing to know, is that the bleed effect used to have 3 different types. So there was the low bleed, which was your feet and I think some other miscellaneous stuff. Then there was the medium bleed, which came from, infected, a couple of other little things, including ammo being shot at you. And then the heavy bleed was from ammo, from bullets hitting you. That was way back. I think it was like 1.08 or something, maybe even further. But they replaced it with a mathematical equation, which I'm not good at math, so I don't fully understand it. But essentially, it takes into account a config parameter from that item, that whether it's a knife, a bullet, or whatever, and then based upon, I think, health taken and some other factors, it can cause a bleed, and then that bleed, the amount of blood you lose is from that bleed is based off that math. So it kind of can be pretty interesting that like an infected can cut you, and and you may not care about that bleed because it's a slow drain, but the next time the infected cuts you, it makes your blood go down really, really fast. So it's kind of like an interesting, I would say, dynamic in this situation that you have to be aware of. Because like a sledgehammer and a shovel both do high shock damage. Now, when you're playing on servers like Karma Crew, who don't really favor shock damage, but let's just consider vanilla. In vanilla, shovels and sledgehammers and other blunt weapons do more shock damage than they do HP damage, giving you the opportunity to uncon someone and take their items or wrap them up. Brass knuckles are an amazing shock-dealing weapon. And it looks like you're just using your fists if the person's not paying attention. But they can knock someone out really quick. And then you can take their stuff. But the same with melee weapons. That's actually kind of one of the things that I've always thought was, if I have somebody coming up trying to melee me, I can choose how I take care of them by choosing what weapon I want to use. If I pull out a baseball bat, I know I'm probably going to uncon them. And then if I want to, I can then tie them up, or I can just take them out. Actually, you want the crossbow? Yeah. But yeah, if I take a baseball bat and knock them out, I can decide what I want to do next. But then, with a melee weapon, if I pull out a blunt one, a sharp one, I can cause significantly more bleed percentages, so they might bleed out quicker than they could uncon me. And the thing here is, like, if you do go the so-called sharp route, you only have to hit them once or twice to hear that slice and see them bleeding. And as soon as they are bleeding, you just have to move around them and wait for them to try to bandage so you can stop them and or let them bleed out. That goes vice versa for you too. They could choose just to cut you once and let you bleed out. I do like how there are many facets to DayZ when it comes to fighting and other stuff. That, like, once you start, like, actually paying attention to what you're using and how they function, work, or affect others and other things, you start to realize that this isn't just a mad shoot everywhere, hit everything with a what you can. You actually can tactically gain an advantage based off of your own knowledge. Like if a person's wearing a stab vest, maybe you don't want to pull out a melee, sharp weapon. Maybe you want to pull out that the blunt weapon because you know you can do a lot higher percentage chance to uncon them than you do to cut them. I just don't know. Then you can take the vest off when they're uncon and then cut them once. I'm just kidding. Actually, it's not a bad idea. If you uncon somebody and they're right on the ground. All right. You can take care of them. I just failed. Ooh, that's cool. I like that. Yeah, I just got killed, guys. Sorry about that. I was trying to I was trying to pay attention. I really was. But apparently not good enough. I'll take your bad knife. Yeah, I heard shots quite a bit around me, but I never heard a shot come that way. But, you know, we live, we learn. And I'm a little bit annoyed, but at the same time, it was my own fault for walking on roads and stuff, and not really trying to look around me every now and then. Can't win them all. Plus, I'm bad at PvP, folks. If you're here to see me get a crazy PvP into a PvP fight and I come out, you're sorely mistaken. I am not very good at PvP at all. Yeah, see, even the zombie in the background was like, you know, agreeing with me. It hurt me. Infected go towards sounds, not people. So if they have a sound, they will walk towards it, and if you're not there, like I just did there where I like went around it, I didn't trigger it. Now I got lucky there, honestly. I probably should have triggered it, but you know, whatever. Yeah, see, that one visually saw me. So now it has to take care of me. Hey, there you go. Has some food for me. Thank you. Alright. We should just sprint the frick out of here. That's why if you ever watch somebody playing and they're all like, how'd that infected here see me? It was because they made a sound and then sprinted away from it. But because sprinting does the 3 highest levels of bar, like on where the stamina bar is, you can see like when I'm jogging, I'm going 2. When I'm walking, I'm going 1. So when I'm sprint running, I only go to 2. But if I run here, and like punches are also 2 decibels. Yeah. All right. I think I need to stop being too silly-nilly about the game. think that's one of my issues, is that I am more interested in talking with you folks, which I enjoy. I'm not denying that at all. I'm really enjoying chatting with you folks. But could be, not. I need to be more focused on what's going on around me and get in some more fun PvP fights instead of just dying all the time. Oh, there's a fox nearby. Oh, just a boon hat. All right. Monster says deathmatch servers can help you get more comfortable with PvP. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Although I think it's not that I don't know how to like range, fire, and all that kind of stuff, and how the guns affect me. It's more of a I'm not very good at like being aware of my surroundings, seeing people and stuff, and hearing people. I'm too like blissfully unaware. So I could play some deathmatch servers to possibly brush up on my skills again. That is not wrong. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that. There's also sometimes signs on these rocks telling you where it's going. I know where I'm going. Yeah. Isn't this just a nice looking game? I think that's Gorka. Yeah, it probably is. Oh, yeah? Definitely. Yeah, I like my headphones. I'm not using them to their full effect, honestly, because when I do it, I can like hear like even the smallest twig snap, which just keeps messing with me. One thing that I think I need to focus on as well is that if there are other people in a forest that you're going through, the birds won't be chirping. Because if they're moving, then I'll see it. I'm not sure if that's always a foolproof plan to like rely upon, but I do think that it has some help there. Some help. All right, I'm gonna self-promote, folks. Please feel free to leave a like and hit that subscribe button if you like watching me play DayZ or want to see our various other content. We recently just rebranded to the Two Beards and a Producer. We used to be called The Status Survival, and we covered a bunch of different survival games. But we recently rebranded, but feel free to look through all of our old episodes. We got up to 95 podcast episodes before we decided to rebrand. Now we focus solely on DayZ and Project Zomboid because we really like both games and we think the communities and just the overall depth of them will give us plenty of content and other things to talk about without becoming a drama show. All right. So I think I'm wrong. This is definitely not Gorka, but that's okay. It's good to be wrong. At least that's what my wife tells me. Sorry. Sometimes I laugh at my own humor. Just spot on sometimes. Well, while I'm in here, let's just eat the food. Yo, you should never wear white pants when you're fighting in a war. I think I have an idea where I am at, though. I need a wrench. I need to go slightly quiet for my my voice to replenish. Oh, look at Shamag. This is Wintrides. Is this Vanilla's? That might be Vanilla's. But we have a pickaxe now. I saw. You hack. Hacksaw. Thank you, Melbourne. I appreciate it. Tony sent me to teach you a lesson. You don't mess with Hacksaw. Hacksaw messes with you. I ruined it. So, on the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again. Sorry I died last time. I'm sticking too close to the roads. I do not want to die again and again and again. I at least want to have like some interesting firefight. Like, even if I die after having a couple of bullets shot around and me trying to get cover or me shooting at them, that's enough satisfaction. Instantly dying sucks, but I understand why. The guy had to drop on me. He probably put a bullet right in my head or right between my neck and head. But it's just dissatisfying for me as the person who got killed. I guarantee you, he was all like, oh man, I just shot this guy and it was a clean kill. I didn't ruin anything on him. So he's probably excited about that, which, you know, hey, no hate to him. Running on the roads is dangerous too. Yep, that's very true. Oh my god. Is that a gray? Oh, I think I know where I'm at. Oh, I think I know where I'm at. Okay, I'm much further southwest than I thought I was. Really? No, I think that's Krasnostov Castle. But it looks like it's the town just above Belota. Huh? Maybe I'm just confused. Well, we can tell. Sun is to the southwest. Yeah, that might be the Southwest Castle, now that I'm thinking about it. I know it's not Devil's Castle. There's no way that I'm, like, that far north. Where's this Gorka? No, it's not Gorka. Alright, if I go up this road and I see a gas station, I don't remember the name of the town I'm in, but I do know 100% where I'm at. Apparently close to a lot of shots. Remember, folks, you only need to be within 2 infected of them to be able to do a stealth kill. Gosh darn, that is so satisfying. Food! Alright, I'm just going to open that up right now. Just badly damaged, nice. It's up this way. Right, I think I know where we are 100%. I don't want those. I do not want those. Almost out of coffee. All right. That's where I want to go. All right, all right. Let's see where we're going. Taking kind of big risks here, honestly. If we get shot, I would not be mad. I would be like, okay. I really need to slow it down. I think I'm trying to get places too quick, and I'm not surveying and doing other stuff I need to do. I really do enjoy playing this game. Whether it's on modded servers or vanilla or only vanilla plus servers. That's when I think they have only admin tools on it. But it's pure vanilla. I just enjoy it all. Flow a creek here. Go across its natural bridge. Alright. I know I got quiet, but I think I'm getting close to that town. I don't think they have stuff spawn on the ground, honestly. Like, they may not even have stone knives, honestly. I don't think I've seen the one small stone yet. Let's follow this and see. No, I'm not worried about that. All right. Definitely getting into some more of the dead areas. Right. Okay. Where do I want to go? I don't think they have fruit or mushrooms either. Yeah, I don't think so. I think me checking all these fruit trees so far has kind of been a little bit of a waste of my effort. Yeah, there's the town. There is the town. This looks like it might be, Oh, I know where we are. We're just, we're near, Starry Sobor. Yeah, we are. There's a high chance we're going to die here. A very high chance. I've been kind of like all over the place, haven't I? At least I feel like it has. All right. That is me done. Folks, I really appreciate everyone coming here and watching me die twice without any kind of real fight. It was unsad and unfortunate, but that is the name of the game, especially if you're playing on a server like Karma Crew. I've been really enjoying my time, having a lot of fun. I hope you folks have too, and I probably will be doing this probably Thursday. So, see you then, folks. Thank you much. Have a good day.